Wait, LaRon, Potent Ponder, and I'm back with another video. Please come in and thumbs up this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, hit all notifications so you have my videos in your possession each and every time I go live or I do uploads. I knew it took me a little minute to go live, but I had to get some stuff set up. So yeah, I hope all of y'all doing well. I hope, you know what I'm saying, it's not too late. I would definitely want to run through this live on Nancy Grace, talking about the Diddy situation and just also touch on the Young Miami as well. And they also had like a few updates in regards to Diddy. So yeah, man. I hope all of y'all doing well. It's late. It's 11:35 on the Gulf Coast, which is Central Standard Time. So I know it's 12:35 in New York. So let's see. Yeah, man. I hope all y'all doing good. What's up, Dominique? What's up, John Kellogg's? So yeah, let's matter of fact, yeah, let's just go straight into it because it's already late and I don't wanna hold nobody up. So let's just go straight into it. So this is one of the biggest things that's happening right now. This Young Miami getting caught up. So Young Miami is accused, and I know that. Listen, it's what it's Thursday we going on Thursday. I know that a lot of y'all up to speed on this. Like I know that y'all are aware of a lot of things going on, but I just wanted to touch on like the current happenings today. So Young Miami is accused of transporting pink powder to Diddy in updated court documents. So additional details have been revealed in regards to the Rodney Low Rod Jones lawsuit against Diddy. And now Young Miami has been roped into the ongoing series of events. So according to the court documents obtained by XXL, the Miami rapper was allegedly involved in transporting D Ruggs. Transporting, like she's Diddy, so she's Diddy's handler. She'll do that though, because you know, Young Miami, she need the money. So she's probably just astonished to just be involved and be around somebody with money. That's my personal opinion, to be honest with you. So transporting for Diddy under the Bad Boy Records founder. Within the 25 pages that was added to Lil Rod's filing, the suit goes into detail about Diddy's affinity towards pink powder, a combination of ecstasy, cocaína, and also tusi. The filing says Diddy was obtaining the D rugs from his accused drug male Brendan Paul, and the story came out about him as well. You know, who was recently arrested but wound up getting it from Young Miami. Damn. Yo, this is crazy. See, and I told y'all when they was together that he ain't had no business being with Young Miami, but y'all ain't want to listen. Y'all saying like this age of consent and all of this craziness, you know? So, man, Diddy was 25 years old when Young Miami was born. I know there's people out there who say like, you know, this whole age thing, like women have the right to choose or whatever the case may be. A lot of relationships is inappropriate. I personally feel the relationship with I ain't tear Drea down, but even though I don't like it, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with Diddy and Young Miami. He was 25 years old when she was born. Like, come on, man. And then, you know, with the City Girls, I have to make sure that I say this because I feel like a lot of people overlook this. If Young Miami was a triple, like, let's just be blatant. If Young Miami was a Nicki and she was actually moving records in the City Girls. I know people love City Girls, but let's be honest, without all of the fluff and everything going on, they don't sell records. They don't. And they do a lot of things because they have to. JT's affinity for Lil Uzi, come on, it's like, I want to finish the article, but I want to make this clear. Like they talk about and they be clowning dudes who they like. JT, she, and there's nothing wrong with Little Uzi wearing shoe boots or anything like that. But me personally, I feel like if she was stacked up, I don't think that she would date him. That's my own personal opinion. I feel like it helps her in the sense of visibility and everything associated with his name. Like, you know, I'm pretty sure he tricks too. Anyway, Plaintiff Combs Rico Enterprise were rehearsing for something in the Westerville in Virginia. The court filing reads, Clayton Jones personally witnessed Mr. Combs doing a few lines of the powder in the dressing room. Defendant Sean Combs wanted Tucci, but Brendan forgot it. So defendant Kristen Coram called Young Miami, who then brought it on the private jet from Miami. That's crazy. They look like they ain't got no business. Come on. That's like a father to her. Father. That's a father. Lil Rod's lawsuit arrived at the end of February 2024, accused the mogul of assaulting him. The suit names Diddy, Justin Combs, Universal Group, CEO Sean Lucien Grange, Combs Chief of Staff Christina Karam, and ex-Motown Records CEO Ethiopia Habat Mariam as defendants in the suit. Although the city girl has rather tight-lipped about anything involving Diddy as of lately, you know, Young Miami been running around with Ari Fletcher trying to clinch on to her so she could get into the club scene, get a few of them hosting dollars. She's been tight-lipped on it. She has made some sporadic comments on social media. Many fans have been spamming Young Miami's mention due to her relationship with Diddy. The act up rapper caught wind of the tweet and read, "Where's Carisha at?" To which she quickly she clapped back. Give me a second. She said, "Right here, what's up?" Somebody asked her where she was at. That was on the 25th. So things are only getting more intense for Diddy. His Los Angeles, I'm pretty sure y'all know that he got raided. And the thing about it is that when they did that and those raids took place at the same time, I just personally felt like, yo, like first and foremost, when a raid when a raid takes place, they typically do it at the same time, and they want to make sure that they catch you off guard. But I just feel like with somebody of Diddy's like level of like money, I'm pretty sure somebody had to tip him off and let him know. Like he had to know with that situation with Cassie, they had to let him know that this was coming. I just personally feel that. I want to say this. I personally feel like Diddy, he should face repercussions for anything that he's done. Diddy did so many people wrong. Going back from Sean, going to all of the bad boy artists. You know what's so crazy? I have to say this too. I do personally feel like certain people, like Little Kim, had an issue with Diddy before. She did, but it's certain things like that I feel like that exist inside of women, like Little Kim and Foxy Brown, and like Foxy Brown more so Jay-Z. I don't think they would ever speak out against him, even if he was wrong. I just don't. I feel like certain people just are not going to contribute. Like obviously, Little Kim has a different relationship with Diddy than Mace does. Mace, I would feel, was more closer, like he had a more closer connection. And then today, as like we was like, you know, I was listening to somebody do commentary, and it was just like, you know, ever since I was a young boy in high school, I remember being in 9th grade and my teacher making jokes up about Diddy, just saying certain things about him with Usher and stuff. This is back then in 1997. I was in 9th grade. My teacher was saying stuff. I had a black 9th grade teacher. She was my homeroom teacher, and she used to just be like reading the paper, and she would be making comments about Diddy. So all of these rumors about Diddy have been going on for years. And I think that everything has just came to head now, and there's some truth. Like you think that it'd be lies, but it'd be some truth to them lies. It'd be, yo, my friend put me onto that years ago in the 90s. She said it'd be truth to them rumors. It'd be truth to them rumors, and that's real talk. It'd be truth to the rumors. So Diddy has done a lot of people wrong. He's did Foxy Brown wrong. I think he kind of messed her deal up with Def Jam because she had a deal where he wanted her so bad that he was willing to go 50-50 with Def Jam. At the end of the day, their deal didn't end up panning out right. And she was like, she not releasing no music under it. So that was kind of like the end of it. And I think Jay-Z ended up getting her off of Def Jam. But yeah. So let me touch on this real quick. So a resurfaced clip of Diddy telling kids to put a toy helicopter down his pants goes viral amid the trafficking probe. So an old clip featuring Sean Diddy Combs has gone viral after the internet sleuths pointed in inappropriate innuendos on the episode of Nickelodeon's All That, where a gooey white substance was thrown on a child star's face. So the troubled rap mogul was at the height of fame when producer Dan Schneider tapped him to be a guest in 2002. 2002, yeah, it was definitely some funniness going on back then. I hate these ads on here. Hold on a second. They play this shit everywhere. So in the clip, 2 young actors were trying to wake up the child star Shane Lyon by banging a pair of cymbals. So when that didn't work, they poured the bucket of gooey sour milk in the young actor's face, I assume. The boys then asked themselves, what would P. Diddy do before turning to the rapper for advice? Tell you what, take this toy helicopter, Combs responds, and put it down his pants. The boys followed the odd suggestion and then turned on the toy helicopter with a remote provided by Combs. That's a little weird. I'm not even going to play that because how many seconds is that? Yeah, I don't want to play that because I don't want to take no chance. So look at the video of Diddy, all that telling kids to put toys down another kid's pants. Freaky. So Lion, who was soaked in sour milk, screamed in pain and ran off when the toy was in his pants got activated. I mean, this was absolutely insane. A shocked TikToker named Krista said about the clip. Type helicopter in Urban Dictionary. It was a dirty meaning as well, like sour milk, another user said. Combs 54 remains under the microscope after Homeland Security raided that ass. Raided him. I honestly feel like this, yo. Diddy is going through everything right now because of all of the energy that he put out there. Like he's done a lot. He's done a lot. And while I don't delight in anyone's demise, I do feel like, you know, you will get what's due to you. I really do believe that you're going to get what's due to you in every way, shape, or form. Like for all of the people he ruined. I mean, I wrote a list out in my phone of all of the people. Like, come on, just think about it. So, all of the people, like, total. It's like certain artists we never heard of from them again. A lot of artists. I made a list a few weeks ago. For Shine. You know that woman who did that interview recently saying that she seen Diddy pow her, and then Shine took the rap for it. He did Shine dirty, Little Kim dirty. He did Foxy Brown dirty. See, Foxy Brown and Little Kim, they more mum, they women, so they're not gonna speak out like that. And Little Kim was on tour with Puffy, so she was probably happy she got some thousands out of it. But he did her dirty. And also, I think with him paying Cassie, that just set everything off. Because I don't care how you feel about it. Paying, and people say that like, oh, you know, he settled. Paying, to me, that's an admission of guilt. That's my own opinion. Then the Kim Porter situation, the Cassie, which set it off. He did Making the Band Dirty, Danity Kane, Day 26, Usher, and then, you know, with some video also surfacing with Justin Bieber as well. So yeah. So I just, like, I can't really feel bad for Diddy. I don't wish bad on anybody, but I don't feel bad for him at all. Like, nah. Hold on a second. Let me see. So then they just recently updated this on the New York Post. Give me a second. So Sean Diddy Combs' alleged victims are talking a lot, the feds claim. Concrete, detailed, explicit allegations of trafficking. So they saying, I wonder what they came up with in this raid. So the federal officials were acting on specific allegations of trafficking when they raided two of Diddy's homes on Monday. And they said that his alleged victims have not been holding back during interviews. And an officer with the Department of Homeland Security told the Post the case has been active for several weeks and authorities investigate a range of allegations against the 54-year-old rapper and mogul. We believe that there is a disturbing history of trafficking, said the Miami-based trafficker who spoke under condition of anonymous. So we are responding to concrete, detailed, explicit allegations that is not random. We didn't choose his name out of a hat. We had allegations that we're following up on. So hold on. The public first became aware of the allegations when ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura filed a civil lawsuit against him in November of last year. He settled that so quick. So the case settled out of court the next day. That should have told everybody. I'm listening. It did tell a lot of people a lot of things. The court settled out of court the next day, but has bed followed by 3 further lawsuits. He's had a total of 5 lawsuits right now, alleging assault, all which Diddy has strongly denied. That's the mansion. Yo, let me tell you something. He a fool. Diddy, he is a fool. If he knew that these people was on him like that, and he didn't delete those videos. Listen, I'm not trying to say that I want him to get out of this, but whatever incriminating piece of information, once Cassie drew that lawsuit up, he should have deleted everything. If they got them laptops and they find stuff, you going down. You going down. He has also not been charged with any crime or wrongdoing at this stage. We became aware of certain allegations during the course of the civil suits against Mr. Combs, said the officer. You have to understand that we didn't just decide on a whim to search his homes. A federal judge had to sign off on it. This isn't a witch hunt, because, you know, his attorney said that. An attorney for Combs, Aaron Dyer, did not return the Post messages or comment. On Monday, when Homeland Security agents raided Combs' mansions in both Los Angeles and Miami, they confiscated hard drives, phones, and other evidence. The officers tells the Post that they are looking for photos, emails, texts, itineraries, hopefully names. And let me tell you something. These people have the capability to probably, even if you deleted something on a device, you remember how that girl, rest in peace to Madeline Soto, that girl in Florida who her mother's boyfriend, to you ladies, because I know it's always one of y'all lurking on videos. I don't care what nobody say. Y'all be dating dudes and giving them too much power over your kids. That poor little girl, her mother's boyfriend took her out, was abusing her and everything. Like, how y'all just move somebody in your house and let them take over your house, and you got him bringing your kids to school, bringing your daughter to school at that. Then you on some psych meds, and then you in a deep sleep at night. He having his way with your daughter. How many of y'all out there are doing this? How many of y'all out there are got kids but act like you so lonely and want somebody up in your house, and then this person violating your kids? You giving them all the power and control. Oh, he gonna take you to school. Yeah, they don't even know them like that. Yo, every time I think about that story, it pisses me off. But his so the day that she was missing and he got confronted by the police, he said, "Oh, I just did a factory reset on my phone." They retrieved all of that. He had stuff on there where he was being that he violated this child on his phone. So if they took those computers and hard drives of electronics, whatever he did to it, I'm pretty sure they have the capability of retrieving whatever data was lost. I hope he burned those computers, to be honest with you, or whatever. So text itineraries, hopefully names. There were specific communications that we're aware of that we will not be able to access on these. There are specific communications that we are aware of that we'll be able to access on electronics. The multi-agency investigation is being spearheaded by the U.S. Attorney Office of the Southern District of New York. So New York City, y'all Southern District. I'm upstate. So yeah, that's Southern New York. Y'all Southerners. Like, Southern New York is a little ratchet. You see why Diddy act the way that he act? Diddy dumb, Diddy do. Monday's search was executed by Homeland Security investigators. And when Homeland is on your shit, if they on your ass, is bad at that point. Like, so in a statement Tuesday, Dyer decried the DHS raids as a grossly overuse of military. Oh, this is his lawyer. So in the statement on Tuesday, Dyer decried the DHS raids as a gross overuse of military level force of search warrants executed at Mr. Combs' residence and vowed that Diddy would clear his name. In addition to the search, authorities are interviewing alleged victims, witnesses, including 3 women and 1 man, who are suing Diddy in civil courts, according to the sources. Now, listen, like I told y'all, it's some truth to them lies. It's definitely some truth to them lies. Let me tell you something. Everything that Cassie listed about Diddy wanting her to have those pretty white fingernails while she got her hands on it, ain't nobody requesting that unless they sucking it too. Ain't nobody requesting that. To me, it's just a little too weird. It's kind of like, quick segue, like, when I was watching something on the Shade Room earlier, and it was like Offset was telling Shannon Sharp that he was too big to wear the type of pants that he wear. I'm looking at Shannon Sharp. He's not big. What do you mean? Are you looking at his body? Like how you looking at your wife, like looking at his thighs and looking at his ass? Why would you say he's big? That was just a little, I don't know. Do what that as you may, but that was a little weird to me, because what do you mean he's too big? He works out. That was athletic wear. Does that athletic wear get your shit fibrulating or something? I don't understand. Like, I don't ever care about what nobody is wearing. I wouldn't tell Shannon he's too big to wear that. If you want to wear that with your bow legs and be out there like that, do that. That don't have nothing to do. And I don't care. Like, what? Don't Offset wear skinny jeans? I don't know. That kind of threw me for a loop. My bad, to get off track. So yeah. So in addition to the search, authorities are interviewing alleged victims. So we read that the DHS operative said that those who had been interviewed for the investigation have been very thorough and detailed. So that's funny. That's a funny thing about victims. They may be reluctant to speak at first, but once they start talking, they talking a lot. We are getting a lot of cooperation from people who want to see him brought to justice. Diddy was stopped from boarding a private jet out of the U.S. on Monday, trying to get out of here. Trying to get out of here out of fear. Diddy trying to get out of here out of fear. You ain't going nowhere. Yo, these niggas think they slick, and is believed to have remained in Florida ever since. He tried to go the Russell Simmons route. However, despite the raids attracting a great deal of attention, he remains a free man. I love seltzer. I love it. So he is not under arrest. He is under investigation. A law enforcement source made clear. He is free right now to do what he wants, but he is aware that if the charges come down, we will get him wherever he is. Yeah. They like, bring that ass to me, boy. That's what they on. Anyway, let's move on to this Nancy Graceness because I want to go through this. This is 40 minutes long. Of course, I don't want to go through the whole video. What's up, Lacey? I thought Diddy and Young Miami had nothing but a business relationship. Come on, you know that was, come on, he was using her. They used each other because, like I said, they ain't, city girls ain't selling no records. I know that we all want to be happy for JT and all of that, but you know that they not really doing nothing. Let's be honest. Like,
on Diddy Combs. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us here at Crime Stories and on Sirius XM 111. Why Diddy? Why Sean Puffy Combs, as he was once known? Well, according to what we are learning, the raids by the feds, by HSI, Homeland Security investigators, much of the PC probable cause was gleaned from multiple lawsuits filed against Combs. Now, that's not just from what we're learning.
Like I said, there's some truth to them lies. He's saying that it's lies. There's some truth to them lies.
Combs' own lawyer spoke out in a very unfortunate statement for Combs. You never reveal your thinking prior to a trial, but
see, that's why I like listening to stuff like this. Because when she revealed that, I didn't know that you never reveal your thinking before a trial. That's why I'm telling you, like, I know, and I want to say this because I know the majority of people who's in here, you know what type of content that I post. If you're new to the channel, subscribe or whatever. But this is why, like, I just want to say this. I'm going to play it. I'm not going to keep stopping like this. But it's good. Like, I know that we be so into celebrity culture and shit like that. But, like, it's good to exercise your mind. And, like, I watch a lot of different content. You would think that I watch, based on my channel, you think that I watch stuff like that all day. But I honestly watch a lot of, like, thought-provoking and, like, you know, educational things about, like, culture, like especially Black culture, or, you know, just different things. It's good to do that. So, you know, I didn't know that about cases that in regards to a statement like she mentioned, but I'm going to let this play.
The lawyer did. What are they saying? That all these victims are lying? I mean, think about it. No one wants to see the demise of a superstar, but are superstars to be held above the law? Because I say no. Again, I'm Nancy Grace. Thank you for being with us here on Sirius XM and at Crime Stories. First of all, this is what we know happened. Listen to Sydney Sumner, Crime Online.
On Monday, large teams of law enforcement led by Homeland Security investigators raided 3 homes belonging to Sean Diddy Combs in Los Angeles and Miami as part of a sex trafficking investigation stemming from accusations leveled against Combs.
So y'all see that 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, what is this? Cassandra Ventura, Combs settle outside. Joy Dickerson, Neil Lizer filed lawsuits. Anonymous 4th woman. Producer Ronnie Lil Rod. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's 5. Like,
in 5 separate lawsuits brought against him. The latest suit, filed in February by music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones, details frequent drug use, a shooting, and several accounts of sex assault while working with Combs on the Love album.
That's what we know right now, but there's more. And I can tell you this much. When the feds roll up in armored vehicles wearing Kevlar, that's not good for you. That's not good at all. We're hearing a lot of whining this morning by the defense about, oh, they messed up the inside of his house. Boo-hoo. Listen to Dave Mack, Crime Online.
In the 73-page document, Jones claims that Combs forced him to solicit sex workers and perform sex acts with them as Combs looked on. Jones also alleges the rapper threw parties he called freak-offs, during which underage girls and sex...
The thing that got me the most, I can't say it enough, like, I know people don't overlook it, they know it, but it's like the fact that she detailed that he wanted her nails white and he wanted big black D's. Like,
workers were given laced drinks and assaulted. Combs' son Justin, producer Stevie J, and associate Brendan Paul allegedly supplied the women and drugs.
And he didn't love Cassie if he allowed anybody to just do something to her like that. He never loved her, like, real talk. She just was a piece. I don't know if she was a part of it. She was his beard or what. He ain't never loved her. He never loved her.
The parties. The suit goes on to say that Combs' access to major celebrities, athletes, and even British royals such as Prince Harry gave him and his followers legitimacy.
You're seeing the cover of Rolling Stone with Combs on the front of it in his then new album, No Way Out. It says he's the new king of hip hop. There you see. That's
I have a special connection to the No Way Out, even though it's like, it's Diddy. But Albany, New York, back November 7th, 1997, we was the first show date on the No Way Out tour. I just remember that me and my brother went to that tour together. My brother actually had front row tickets because we got tickets from scalpers at that time off of the streets. It was people outside selling the tickets. So I think my brother paid $100 that time. Could you imagine getting a front row ticket for $100? I remember people in school was like, how did your brother get in the front row like that? So that's my special connection to the No Way Out. That was a big era for Bad Boy or whatever, but
when he was going under the moniker Puff Daddy. With me, an all-star panel to make sense of what we know right now. But first, straight out to Kayla Brantley joining us, investigative reporter, dailymail.com. Kayla, thank you for being with us. Tell me what happened, because we saw simultaneous raids. A lot has been made of that. Hold on just a second, Kayla. Let me go to Nima Rahmani joining us, high-profile lawyer and, more importantly, former federal prosecutor, a president of the West Coast Trial Lawyers Association and author of Harvard to Hashtag. Nima, thank you for being with us. A lot has been made and a lot of whining and crying because there were multiple raids that went down simultaneously. Boo-hoo. The reason that happens is so when you get raided in LA, you can't call your peeps in Miami and go, quick, 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 hide 1, 2, 3, and 4, destroy 5, 6, 7, and 8.
See, I told you that's why they strike at the same time. They do that intentionally. Wherever your residence is, if you under a raid like that, they're going to hit everything at the same time. And they said that this was planned. They had reporters, everything. It was all set up. It was, ready to move in.
And P.S. run for the hills as if you had seen a monster. That's why it's got to be very carefully orchestrated and timed, very organized to go down at the same time for that very reason, Nima.
Well, Nancy, that's exactly right. And the raid in Los Angeles took place about a mile from where I'm sitting right now. I live close to Diddy's home. And I also know Aaron Dyer. I used to work with him. I respect him, but I think he's making that argument for the court of public opinion more than the courtroom. And you're right. There's 3 reasons why federal agents go in and they go aggressively. One, there's always a threat of violence.
They
and Diddy reportedly has a lot of weapons, and this is a large
Hold
house.
on. Nima, look at your screen. You are seeing video that our friend Harvey Levin at TMZ gave us. They somehow managed to get in there and get video of Diddy's home, Combs's home, after the raid. And yeah, it looks like a storm hit it. Next. Go ahead, Nima.
Thinking of the day when you went away. What a price to pay, what a price to pay. I'll be missing you.
Nima.
This is par for the course. This is normal. Agents need to make sure that no one flees the jurisdiction. Evidence isn't destroyed. That's why the raids are executed simultaneously. When individuals are removed from the home, they're cuffed, they're detained. No one was arrested, but Diddy was.
Yo, they got that shit looking like you ever clean your bedroom up and then you looking for one thing and you just ramshack that shit. That's how that shit look like. I could definitely relate to that, but damn, they pulled that. They really did ramshack that apartment.
Treated just like any
at home. I'm sorry.
Other criminal defendant or target of an investigation when these search warrants are executed.
Guys, what do you expect? The HSI Homeland Security investigators to.
And the devil had the nerve to have the Holy Bible. He had the Holy Bible sitting up there.
Cuffed, they're detained. No one was arrested, but Diddy was treated just like any other criminal defendant or target of an investigation when these search warrants are executed.
Don't call on God now.
Guys, what do you expect? The
Don't call on God now.
Homeland Security investigators to be the Minute Maid and clean up after a search? Yeah, that's not happening. Guys, in the last hours, a lot of whining and complaining and switching of tail and gnashing of teeth because the feds, quote, left a mess in Diddy's mansions. You know what?
Oh, what?
with multiple. Ooh, somebody spent a lot of money on shoes. Guys, this is from TMZ. Whoa, hey, I'm taking all that straight to the bank. I'm putting that on eBay and I'm making about $1 million.
Damn.
This is Combs's home after the search. Hey, I'm really surprised all the clothes are still hanging on the racks. To me, that's preferential treatment.
Yo, they ramshacked that shit. That's crazy. Do you see how they pull everything out?
Because on searches that I have been on and conducted.
Here's one thing you need to do before you buy.
Hold on a second. Let's get this off the screen.
Nothing is left unturned. Not a thing. Every pocket, every coat, every drawer, under every bed, furniture has to be dislodged. You've got to find out if there are secret compartments anywhere, because guess what? Very often there are. It's amazing.
They turned that shit inside out. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a price to pay, what a price to pay. I've been missing you.
Amazing what people will do to hide contraband or evidence. What evidence am I talking about? I'm talking about videos, potential videos of underage girls and boys in the middle of sex acts. Now, number one, an underage child.
That's bad.
Some jurisdictions under 18, some under 16, some under 15 cannot consent to sex activity. So even if they appear to be willing in a video, does anybody remember R. Kelly, for Pete's sake, where he urinated on a teen girl? Yeah, that's not consensual. I don't care what she said at the time. Videos that could easily be hidden, even if they are in physical form. For all I know, they're just on a computer. That's why every computer, every laptop, every phone, every iPad, everything has to be seized. And you know what I'm waiting on? Nima Ramani, I'm waiting on that return. Explain, what is a return, Ramani?
So there's a search warrant and an application, and when the search warrant is executed, there's a return that's filed with the court, and it identifies all the property that's been seized. And like you said, Nancy, what they're looking for here is evidence of sex trafficking and the production of child pornography. Reportedly, if you believe these civil lawsuits, not only were they sex acts, they were recorded. That's a crime, both in terms of the act and the recording. And we're talking about mandatory minimum sentences. So it's just probably going to be a matter of days before Diddy is indicted, an indictment is unsealed. So this is all going to become public.
This is like, let me tell you something. If you don't think that God won't get you in private, he will get you in public. Anything that you do, see, Diddy thought that he had impunity in these communities. He thought that his money meant something. And you know what's so sad? Like, yo, I'm gonna tell you this as a person who strives and just works a regular job, and I do my YouTube shit, right? I make decent money like with my job, and like anything that I make online is like a crumb off a wafer, but it's like something. Like I go live where I do YouTube videos. I probably make anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500 a month. It's extra money and whatever, but it's like everybody who's in power and makes the most money, it's like they're the most evil, they're the most vile, they do malicious things, and it's like it's people on our regular level. It's like we probably will never get to that level. Not saying never, speaking that over our life, but it's like we probably, a lot of people are never going to get to that level of being almost billionaires, millionaires. And it's like, they're so evil. So it's like, do you have to be evil to make money? Do you have to be cutthroat? Do you got to be, even like with people like, like mayors, and so it's like a lot of corruption. It's like everybody who's a leader is corrupt. It's weird.
Wait, let me see, Ramani. Put him up. Ramani. Again, you're reading like, you sound like you're reading out of the Farmer's Almanac about the crop report for next year. Listen, Sean P. Combs.
I like how she be trying to make people feel stupid. Did you see how she clocked him like that? Hold on.
Again, you're reading like, you sound like you're reading out of the Farmer's Almanac about the crop report for next year. Listen, Sean P. Combs has been targeted. Now, everybody keeps saying he's not the target. That's BS, because these are his homes on two sides of the country. The people at his homes were put in handcuffs during the search, and that is SOP, standard operating procedure, so nobody gets shot. There's a lot of whining going on about that too. But in a home where you are looking for guns, you do not leave the inhabitants free to grab a gun and start shooting. So stop whining about that too. Combs is facing an indictment. I'm agreeing with you. This is a big deal. We're not reading the crop report for 2025. This tells me nobody is above the law, not even Combs.
Oh, no one is above the law, and really the chickens are coming home to roost. This really started in November when ex-girlfriend Cassie filed that bombshell lawsuit, and she spilled the tea. And obviously,
Discount eyewitnesses and victims, but when you've got it on digital proof, it's hard to argue with that dynamite combination. You were just seeing Cassie Ventura, and she's not some parasite tick hanging on like some hoochie mama that's latched on to Sean P. Diddy Combs. She is a star in her own right. You saw her on album covers. One was A Long Way to Go. One was Deceased. There she is right there with Combs. Beautiful and talented. Now, hold on. I want to go straight out to Kella Brantley joining us, investigative reporter, dailymail.com. Kella, again, thank you for being with us. It did all get kicked off with Cassie Ventura's complaint. Explain.
Yeah, that was back in November, Nancy. Cassie Ventura, they dated for 10 years. She was actually 19 years old, and he was 37 at the time when they began their relationship.
Okay, wait, Kella. Let me allow that to soak in.
Yeah.
She was 19 and he was 37. Did you just say that?
Nearly 20 years her senior, yep.
Go ahead.
Sure. Well, my friend when we was in high school, I was in 11th grade. My friend was in 12th grade. She was pregnant by a man who was like 34 years old. She was 17 years old, pregnant by a man who was like 34.
Not judging the relationship. Not yet, but she called the relationship abusive, controlling. She said that Diddy forced her to have sex with male prostitutes and watched and recorded it.
That means he don't love her. If a man, typically a man, especially if he loved, this is how I believe, and I know that Diddy is definitely guilty of being with those men as well, allegedly, right? Because typically a man don't want his woman to be with nobody else but him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you letting her have all of this SCX with all of these random people, that's not no love. That's not love. That's a demonic person. I don't care what nobody say. That's demonic. Ain't no way you like typically a man when he with a woman that he loves, he had her since. And see, that's the thing that scares me a lot about people is that they don't even see the human being in you. Like a lot of people is just evil. And the sad thing about it is I always say this, I never want to be the type of person who doesn't see it, who doesn't get it. I like to understand things in the now and realize and be able to self-reflect and like, you know, just to better myself. Diddy can't see that. If you did that to that girl, you didn't see what you was doing, or maybe you did see it and you just didn't care because you that damn evil.
And in addition to that, she said that he forced her to do drugs and so many horrific details there. And that went on for 10 years. And that it all culminated in 2018 when she tried to leave him. And she says that he came and raped her. Wow. Now, this is exactly the catalyst that sparked all of the other lawsuits. Now he's facing 5 lawsuits with a lot of similar stories from these alleged victims.
Kella Brantley, investigative reporter, dailymail.com, is exactly correct. New York, could I please see the copy we have? Look at this thing. It's huge, but significantly what we've got highlighted for you. Cassie Ventura claims Combs Ventura in her home when she tried to leave him. Often punched, beat, kicked.
I want to say this too, y'all. I know that we keep saying like Jay-Z is next or whatever. Now, call me delusional and you can say whatever. Now, part of me feels like Jay-Z is smarter than this. I don't know. I'm not saying that, but it's just like, this is my thing, right? Anytime, and I'm telling you this as a person who looking into the camera and telling you this, I can confidently get up here and talk shit and like say what I not saying that when I talk about certain artists or whatever that I'm trying to demean them, but I can say exactly how I feel. You want to know why? Because people are weird. And if you don't think people, if like, especially with like the type of shit that I talk, if you don't think that people trying to pull records on you and trying to see like, have you been charged for something? Like, no, my shit is clean. This is why I can say what I want to and do that. And I'm telling you, as a young boy, when I was younger, I knew that the actions that I would do to like back then today, like say it's 1997, I knew that those actions would affect me 25 years down the line. I'm telling you, this is the type of messages that I try to give to my nieces and try to tell them, like, think about what you do today. It will impact you. It will. And people they overlook it. They do. I knew that I would grow into a man one day. And then I didn't. And you know what's so crazy? When it comes to relationships, as far as intimacy and like not having like STDs, I didn't want to, for one, I didn't want to have to explain my life as far as like getting in trouble and shit like that. And I didn't want to have to explain like why I had certain stuff that like, you know, I wanted to like have a clean lifestyle, be clean. Like I didn't want to have no explaining. I mean, I just got arrested over a traffic violation from a ticket that I didn't even know I had, but that's not even a real thing. And all I did is got arrested and I had to set up a payment plan. I've never been arrested in my life outside of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you got to think about how things will impact you from yesterday, how they will surface today. Like, I feel like Jay-Z is smarter than that. Either he controlled these people with money and they just not going to speak out, or he realized who he was. I'm telling you today, I don't care how young you are hearing this, realize that there's going to be days in the future, whether it's 10 to 15 years from now, you know, especially with the internet, things will come back to bite you. If I was a person who had charges and like, you know, on some registries and shit like that, people would have been exposed me. You can't do that though, because when I was younger, I was too smart. I knew that this day would come today. Not saying that I knew I would be doing content, but I knew it would be a day that it would come out in the wash. Now, have I stopped speaking to certain people? Have I maybe ghosted some people and they could say some shit about me like that? Yeah, but we all may be guilty of that. But you can't ever say that I did something more like just ethically wrong to a person. You can't say that. Think about your life, because it will come back to bite you, whether you're in your 60s, your 40s, your 30s, your 20s, and you did something to somebody when they was 10 years old, it's going to come back.
Stomped her, resulting in bruises, burst lips, black eyes, and bleeding. Blew up a man's car after Diddy Combs learned the man was romantically interested in Miss Ventura, forced her to engage in sex acts with male sex workers while and filming the encounter. Okay, yeah, that is a video.
That's
if
not
it can
love.
be found, this jury will absolutely see Combs and filming the encounters of Miss.
That's not love. That's not love. And then the man is begging her to get big phallus. He wanted to see her white nails with big phallus. Come on. To me, it's like I felt like Cassie was honestly leaving some things out, because why was he so obsessed with big phallus? I want to know what he did with it. Because why did he want to see her hands on it so bad, just to thrust in it? Why? And why would you do that to somebody who you love? Like, nah, that's somebody's child. Like, let me tell you this. Even at the age of 41, I'm somebody's child. That's why I operate and I conduct myself in the world like I am. Like, you know, you can't just treat me any type of way. You can't just do something to me any type of way. Like, and I know a lot of us don't think like this, but I wouldn't want the message getting back to my mom, or like that I'm okay with it and I'm complicit with somebody treating me fucked up. Like, no, somebody invested in me. Somebody loved me. Somebody care about me. Like, a lot of y'all don't be realizing your power. Like, I'm not saying, like, I feel like this too. Maybe it was a part of Cassie that felt trapped, but can't nobody treat me no type of way. And then I'm going to sit up in the face of my mother and explain that somebody treated me a certain way and I allowed it. No, you getting nixed. Promise you that. Nah.
Miss Ventura being forced into sex acts with male sex workers. That he ran out of his apartment with a firearm in pursuit of a rival industry exec. Demanded Miss Ventura carry his firearm in her purse, and introduced Miss Ventura to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol, drugs, and required her to procure illicit prescriptions to satisfy his own addictions. I'm reading directly from her lawsuit. Now remember, that is a private lawsuit. That is.
And you can also say what you want to too. I know that Jay-Z does look aged as far as like he's in his 50s. Diddy is in his 50s too. But if you look at Diddy's face, Diddy wears a lot of makeup. Jay-Z, yes, he does look aged, but Diddy looks like he looked tired, like he need to take several naps. I'm telling you, he looked tired. I've seen 50-year-olds in the age group like Jay-Z and Diddy and them, and they look fresh and they look like youthful and viable. I could tell that Jay-Z, they must live like vegan, a lifestyle, whatever the case may be. Diddy looked stressed. He looked stressed around the eyes. He looked stressed. He looked stressed.
It's not a public government document. So you got to take everything that an ex claims against another ex with a box of salt. But wait a minute. Isn't it true, Kayla Brantley, that she sued him for about $30 million and they settled? Combs actually paid her off to get rid of the lawsuit?
They settled. Yep, they settled the next day. As soon as the lawsuit was filed, the news broke. The next day, they settled the lawsuit for an undisclosed amount. She was seeking $30 million, but we don't know how much they actually settled for. Both of them came out with statements saying that they wanted to settle things privately. But in Diddy's statement, he absolutely did not admit any fault. He said that this was handled privately and wanted
Paying was the admission for me.
to move on. He called the allegations baseless. And we've seen that pattern just now with the raids on his house.
Yeah, you're right. That's the same kind of thing they're claiming right now, Kayla Brantley. Guys, this is just one of multiple lawsuits filed against Combs. Sean P. Diddy Combs, also known as Diddy, also known as Puffy. Let's think about this thing. Joining me is Shannon Henry. She is the president and founder of SASS Go, Surviving Assault, Standing Strong. It's a nonprofit. Shannon Henry, oh, by the way, you can find her at sassgo.org. Shannon, thank you for being with us. There are multiple lawsuits, 5 that I can think of, against Combs, all claiming sex assault and forcing the victims into sex acts. Now, that's one thing, 5 claims. And correct me if I'm wrong, Kayla Brantley, because I've got a ton of documents and information I'm trying to absorb. But here's the thing, Shannon Henry. When you have one victim, it's easy for the defense to say, that's a he say, she say. Like, what is that, the defense? It's a he say, she say. Of course it is. But when you have 2 victims, then 3, then 4, then 5, then is the jury supposed to believe they're all lying and he's the only one telling the truth? Actually, that worked in the Michael Jackson case, so it could work. But typically in front of juries, a group of victims, such as in...
And you heard they said Diddy sold, or, you know, what they say he sold the shares of Revolt. Yeah, they had to get him out of there. Like, that's something, man, listen, I personally feel like it's over for him.
Harvey Weinstein, such as in Jeffrey Epstein.
Correct.
Who do you such as Bill
Hold on a
Cosby,
second.
what do you disbelieve the cadre of victims and choose to believe the defendant?
Right. We're seeing
Hold
a
up, hold
pattern
up,
of
hold up.
abuse. We're seeing a pattern of violence, and we're seeing it over and over again from each of these people that are coming forward. And listen, he's an equal opportunity abuser, whether it was an 11th grader, a college student, or it was one of his chefs. So many people have come forward, even the music producer, to complain about his behavior and the trafficking that is going on. And let's call it what it is. It is trafficking. It's a $150 billion industry. It is abuse and assault and stalking on steroids. And it's the second most profitable illegal business in the United States. And he's an active part of it.
You know what you're leaving out of your formula, Shannon? And everything you just said is correct, by the way. I remember my first human trafficking case. Then it was called statutory rape. The girl had just turned 14. I'm getting chills on my arm right now.
That's crazy.
And I looked and I looked and I looked for her. Couldn't find her. I went out every day. And I remember it was cold outside and I was straight out of law school. I had no money. I had the thinnest coat ever. It was so cold. And we would look and look and look. Finally, I get a call at like 6 a.m. in the morning. I raced to the location. It's a flop house. Then on Stewart Avenue, which was the avenue at the time for sex, trade, and drugs. And I went in where they said the girl was. I looked and there were like 5 women. I came out like, there's not a girl in there. Why did you get me here? I need to be at the courthouse. And they went, go back in. Look at the one in the white boots. I went back in. Shannon, this was a little girl. She had on the fake hair, the fake eyelashes, the bustier, the height, the mini skirt, such as it was. It didn't look anything like a 14-year-old little girl at all. She looked like a 35-year-old drug addict. Long story short, she had been passed around and used and taken from one place to the next and had, 15 to 20 men rape her a day. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. And if these allegations are true, Shannon Henry, Combs is no better than those 2 pimps.
And I would even beg everyone to see too that there is an institution, a brand, if you will, of complicity that he's created around him too, with his, I call them bodyguards. That's what the industry calls them. People that have watched this go on and been complicit in all of it and enabled it in ways by not acting and not responding on behalf of the victim and what they're seeing in front of them.
I want you to hear what the impetus was for this major search. And I'm telling you, to have HSI, Homeland Security investigators, roll up in front of Diddy's mansion and break in, they went armed. They went wearing body armor. They immediately subdued and handcuffed everyone in the home, as they should have, while simultaneously across the country, additional locations, venues connected to Sean P. Combs were searched and searched thoroughly. Take a listen to Sydney Sumner, Crime Online.
Before producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones' explosive lawsuit, 4 more alleged victims filed suit against Combs. The first came from an ex-girlfriend, R&B singer Cassandra Cassie Ventura. Ventura claims in addition to physical abuse occurring throughout their decade-long on-and-off relationship, Combs coerced her to participate in what he called freak-offs, which involved Ventura having sex with male sex workers while Combs watched and took videos of the encounter. Combs also allegedly broke into Ventura's home and raped her after she broke off their relationship in 2018. 3 other lawsuits followed Ventura's. Joy Dickerson Neal claims Combs drugged her at a 1991 dinner date and later recorded himself her. Liza Gardner's suit alleges that Combs and R&B singer Aaron Hall assaulted her and a friend at Hall's apartment when she was just 16 years old. An anonymous victim details a 2003 gang by Combs and 2 others at his New York studio. Combs settled Ventura's lawsuit just a day after it was filed. The remaining 4 complaints are still unresolved.
You know what's so messed up though? A part of me, like, and not that much, but tell me in the chat, do you understand? Like, just on a human being level, I feel bad for Diddy because he's so evil, and it's finally like I said, these rumors about him have been going on since I was in 9th grade. So imagine from 1997 to 2024, how many years is that? That's 2007, 2017. It's almost 30 years later. I'm telling you, what you do in the dark, it will come to light. Don't ever think that you're going to do something trite to a person that's not going to come out. It's going to come out sooner or later. Promise you that.
There you're seeing Sean Puffy Combs on Billboard, and you're seeing him on Rolling Stone. I mean, to Dr. John Della Torre, there he is on Forever. Estimated net worth over $1 billion. Dr. Della Torre, psychologist, mediator, who specializes in forensic psychology. Dr. Della Torre, thank you for being with us. This is what everybody is asking me, okay? And the reason I care what anybody says is because who's going to be on that jury that's going to be seated one day? You can't wiggle out of a federal indictment if that happens. We asked the defense attorney on. He's like, no way. but I hope he joins us. So, a lot of talk about how he was targeted, how he's not the target, yet his home was targeted, and blah, blah, blah. But when you get a federal indictment shoved up your rear end, it's kind of hard to get out of that with just talking. But this is what jurors may wonder, because this is what is being asked of me since the moment this hit the airwaves. Why would a guy worth over $1 billion bother to drug minors? Some is young.
Let me just say this. I have to say this. I don't care if I made $100,000, $50,000, right? If I had the access to the money like them, and I know that you might not think that this is good, I would be reclusive, meaning that I would not be able to be reached. I would be so funny. Like, you would have to set up, like Jay-Z, I heard him say before, like, you got to set up like 10 meetings before you even get to meet him. I would be on some shit like that. Too accessible. Then you doing evil, vile things. Come on, man. I honestly think this, and I could be wrong, but I feel like outside of like the dating young women, they did say that thing with the Kathy White with Jay-Z. We don't know if that's just speculation or not, but I just feel like Jay-Z is smarter because Diddy, and I could be wrong because I don't know Jay-Z personally, but like she just said, I just said that. Why would you have so much money and you just treat people horrible like that? Like, you don't, you know what I think? This is what I truly think. Back in the 90s, and when people was moving a certain way that they did, this internet is the worst. This is the devil to them because they thought that we would remain in those days. That's what I'm telling you. Everything progresses. They thought that we were stuck in the 90s and that things would never, or 90s, early 2000. And then this social media, this whole game with people exposing and doing all types of stuff like that. It's a different type of animal. It is. It's a different type of animal. And they probably thought that we would forever be in the hush money phase. We will forever be in, but I don't know. Diddy was doing stuff to Cassie up to like 2018. Maybe he thought he could just get away with it. I don't know. That's why I say, like, especially if you're not realizing the day and the time that we in and you're still doing stuff like that, that is a sickness. And Young Miami, she was just okay with it just to get whatever she could get, whether it was handbags, a little money here and there, or just affiliation.
16 is the allegation, and video himself raping them when he could have practically any woman he wanted,
Anybody
that were after fame and fortune. Now, see, to me, I don't care, but a juror may wonder that. What about it, Delatorre?
Well, because he can. I mean, ultimately, this is about the thrill that he was getting by exploiting and embarrassing all of these individuals. A lot of people talk about power and control, that these guys, who like to do these kinds of abuses like to have the power and control. But it's more than that when it comes to Diddy. I mean, we see things about violence and drugs and guns. As was described earlier, he's an equal opportunity abuser. This is a guy who thinks money, power, respect is the be all end all, and that his word is the word that goes, and whatever it is that suits his fancy, that's what he's going to do. He's doing it because he has the money to do it, and he gets the thrill out of it. And that's more important to him, is getting the thrill rather than just having someone just come up to him and offer themselves.
Believe it or not, I think I'm not saying I know that she does, but if you notice, Nicki was managed by Puff Daddy by Diddy for a very short stint, and she got away from him. She never really spoke on him or anything like that. But I'm pretty sure, especially if Cassie is going to her child's birthday parties, I know Nicki know tea on Diddy. I know she knows it, like she does. See, one thing about Nicki, and like I think if you could kind of learn from Nicki too, like she said that she knows certain things about people in the industry, right? But that's the thing about women. They remain quiet. I don't know why though, but they remain quiet. They like, because I know Foxy got juice too. I know Little Kim got juice too. She was mad at Diddy for a while. But see, those are things that get swept under the rug. It's more so like in the day where you had to be there to understand it. They always mad at Diddy. Everybody. Then he gave those artists back their catalogs when the money was so damn ran out of the. It's like, what are they going to get from the publishing at that point? You don't rob them dry. This is, I'm telling you, this is all karma.
There's no fun in
mixed with his wrongdoing and evilness.
That for him. He wants to bring down and embarrass. He wants to abuse. He wants to inflict pain on individuals.
Okay, let me understand something, Dr. Delatorre, because obviously you have encountered this. I've encountered it while prosecuting, but so the thrill is drugging someone and raping them while
The thrill is breaking somebody down. Let's just take another example. Meek Mill. See, people overlooked it when Nicki told them told people or alluded to the fact that he abused her. And what I told y'all when she said that was, it's certain things in men's mind where if a woman is so much bigger than her, they have to break you down and make you feel so small. Like online or in public, you could be Nicki Minaj or Beyonce. Jay-Z did that to Beyonce too. You could be Beyonce, you could be Nicki Minaj, but in public, I don't want to say it because it's just like, well, this is how I'm saying how I feel they feel. In public, you Nicki Minaj and you might be the queen of rap, or you Beyonce and you the queen bee or whatever, but bitch, I just still cheated on you. Like, I cheated on you. I smacked the shit out of you. I still treat you like you ain't shit. I don't give a fuck about Nicki Minaj, or I don't give a fuck about Beyonce. That's what I think what runs in their head. And when I seen Jay-Z say in that interview that it bothered him to see how much attention Beyonce would get when they was out, he admitted to it, and I knew that was a fact before he even said it. I knew it. It bothered him when they relate. You know, they call it like Bonnie and Clyde or whatever, but Beyonce gets the most attention from when they're together. Like, she gets all of the attention, and I know that shrinks him and it makes him feel small. So come on, Meek Mill tried to clown Nicki. She said something subliminally talking about, are you still gonna be rapping at the age of 30 or whatever? He can't even sell 10,000 units right now. So come on. God has a way of showing up. I'm telling you, he has a way of showing you, the truth and letting people. A lot of people try to do things to break you down. They try to say things that make you fearful or try to like tear you down or make you second guess yourself. Luckily with me, I've never been a person to like second guess anything. If somebody tell me something, I always thought that they was hating, and I'm still going to keep mashing the gas. That's just how you're supposed to go, in my opinion.
they're totally knocked out, like Cosby. That's the thrill.
Yeah, that's the thrill. That's absolutely the thrill, especially if they're the ones that say no. The more they say no, the more they struggle against it, the harder that the abuser is going to go, the more thrill they get out of it.
I'm a therapist who goes to therapy, and some people think that's strange. The thing is, though, therapists are human beings. Just
I don't even like hearing you say that, but
that's true.
I get it. And that's what's going to have to be explained to a jury if this ever goes to a jury. Guys, in addition to investigative reporter Kayla Brantley, Shannon Henry from SAS, Dr. De La Torre, and high-profile lawyer, former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani. Oh, that reminds me of something, Nima. I was about to go to Barry Golden. Hold on, Barry. Former U.S. Marshal, and I'm telling you, they don't play. Nima, I was a Fed for 3 years, and I nearly jumped out of my skin because we would have, for instance, in a case I was working, we would have a whole room full of boxes of documents. And I'd be saying, well, when are we actually going to do something? When are we going to do the raid? When are we going to make the arrest? Because they're doing it right now. Why are we waiting? So I'm telling you, Nima, that the feds had some serious PC, probable cause, before they blast up in Combs's mansions.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And this is an investigation that's being run out of the Southern District of New York, probably the most prestigious prosecutor's office in the country. Yeah. They hire the brightest and the best. So just because the raids were executed in Los Angeles and Miami doesn't mean the investigation.
They got all this access to these beautiful homes, and we got to struggle and strive and work our 9 to 5 and try to, treat people decent. And it's all these people in power who are devils. They devils. Like, that shit blows my mind. It's like, so do you got to be dishonest to be rich? Like what is it? Like, do you got to treat people horrible? Do you got to be a devil? That should really be going across my mind, because it's like every person who I see that's in power and got money, they're evil. All of them.
Started here. It started in New York. So they know what they're doing. And Nancy, the feds wait until they have a made hand, a bulletproof, ironclad case before they go in. They have the luxury of waiting, of interviewing those witnesses, putting them before the grand jury. Because once you execute a search warrants like this, evidence starts to disappear, people may disappear. So this is the final step before people start getting arrested.
It's the culmination of months and months and months of working, if not longer. Combs may have been on their radar for a while, but these lawsuits basically shamed the feds into doing something. They couldn't hold back anymore. And see, they've got what I don't have. And I pray for it, Nima, because it's bit me in the rear end many a time. I don't have patience because, see, I'm thinking, hey, while I'm waiting to do something, he may be molesting another girl. He may be drugging another girl. And see, I'm thinking that, but they think the long game. The feds think the long game, which is it's a fault of mine not to play the long game. But they're right. If you want to win, you play the long game and you get every T crossed, every I dotted, then you move. Bottom line, when they move on you, it's too late for you. You're dead. It's over because they got the goods on you.
Damn.
They're just not going to make a move like this unless they've got a lot of evidence. Guys, joining me right now, a guy I know you want to hear from, former U.S. Marshal and owner now of Golden Consulting at golden-ci.com. Barry Golden, a significant portion of this case is criminal enterprise. Anybody jump in? We're not having high tea at Windsor Castle, please. Criminal enterprise, which means a plan. More than one person is involved. Even though this raid may have been sparked by multiple lawsuits against Combs, the feds have got to prove that there was a criminal enterprise and they're using claims of sex acts on other women, men in different states, traveling or moving the victims in order for them to have sex with Combs or other people. Explain why the aspect of asportation, in other words, movement, is important in this case.
Oh, thank you for the Cash App, S.
It's time to sweat Missouri City because Blink Fitness is now open. Over 15.
Damn, they just tell him where I'm at.
How you doing? Well, the conviction rate in the Southern District of Florida, I prosecuted cases through the U.S. Attorney's Office for several years, and the conviction rate in the Southern District of Florida was 98%. So yes, you are right.
Ouch.
When they bring the federal government, the U.S. Attorney's Office brings an indictment, if they do, they have a lot of ammunition on you. As Nima just mentioned, that a federal judge already found probable cause that there is evidence to conduct these searches at the homes here in Miami and in New York. But yes, you're going to have numerous witnesses. I think that this case is going to still take a long time because you have so much evidence. You have to bring in all these people. Rodney Jones, he can only testify to what he witnessed and what happened to him. You have to bring in other witnesses that these alleged sex acts occurred with. And so you're going to have to find these witnesses, interview these witnesses, bring them in, lock them into a statement, and then put all that into an indictment. So,
you know what I want to say? And this might sound wrong, but yeah, Diddy do deserve this. You want to know why? Like, I just can't fathom like that, having that much access to money and power and then squandering it all on just like, this is an abuse of power. I'm telling you, you think I'm funny style now? Imagine me being almost a billionaire, or you would never be able to reach me. You would never be able to reach me. You would never even be able to say we had, like, not saying that I'm a human being, have an interaction with some people, but you're supposed to navigate a certain type of way when you have like access to certain things. And to me, this is sloppy. It's sloppy. Did he deserve everything that he's going through? I don't wish bad on him, but he deserves all of this. Ain't no way. Imagine like us in this situation, and people who watching this video on this channel. Imagine having access to half of the things that he do. Do you think that you will be trying to like people win the lottery and go reclusive? You can't even access them. They got better sense than a Diddy. That's crazy.
I think you're still months away from seeing an indictment, but there's so much information that you're looking at here. You just look at the civil complaint by Rodney Jones, and it's very long. There's so much information there. There are so many allegations. There's a lot of information, but the HSI going in, the attorney was complaining about so many agents. Look at that compound right there. Look how big that mansion is. You need a lot of manpower. And with the allegations of firearms being at that location, you never know how someone's going to react when, as a federal agent, you come in there and you take control of their residence. You don't know how they're going to react. So you have to have a lot of manpower and a lot of bodies to secure that location so a search can be conducted. So they had to go.
Put him up, please. Hey, Barry Golden, I got one word for you.
Yes.
Waco. Waco.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
The feds move in.
I do. Yes.
Koresh gets all of his followers, who were all many of them molesting little girls in their religion. They fire on the feds and everything goes wild. And I still remember seeing the video of the flames and the standoff and the shootout when feds moved in. And I got to tell you something. I've been on many searches and arrests pursuant to warrant, of course, and people don't take to it very kindly. If they can reach a gun, you're in trouble. End of story. Here's another thing we see going on too. Kayla Brantley joining us, investigative reporter, Daily Mail. We know that Combs's alleged drug mule was arrested at the Miami airport. At the same time, Combs's rapper sons were put in cuffs during the raids on the mansions. Who is the alleged drug mule? It's very significant because the feds are going to be looking for witnesses, and this alleged mule could do life in max, or he could rat out Combs. What do you think he's going to do? Tell me about the drug mule, the alleged drug mule. Brandon Paul, age 25.
Yeah, so 25-year-old Brendan Paul, he was arrested Monday as these raids went on. He was arrested at a Miami airport, and he was about to board Combs's plane to what was believed to be going to the Caribbean. Now, when the authorities checked his bags, they found cocaine and laced candy. And so they arrested him for that. They said that it's not an arrest directly involved in the raids. However, Homeland Security did send officers there to check out Combs's plane. Now, this was a guy from Ohio. He played college basketball. We're not exactly sure how he became involved with Diddy, but according to the lawsuit filed last month.
How did he become affiliated with Diddy? That's weird. A 25-year-old? Like, he got a thing for them young ones.
From producer Little Rod, he
ain't even trying to hide it.
Alleged drug mule.
Okay, so now we're looking at sex trafficking. And to you, Shannon Henry, to make out, joining us from SAS, which is Surviving Assault, Standing Strong, to make out sex trafficking is not as hard as people think. Explain what it means to sex traffic someone.
Are you sick of having issues with your webinars, wasting tons of time on troubleshooting with attendees?
Well, the way that people are trafficked, they look for a vulnerable population, whether they're young, they're in a hard season of their life, they're looking for fame, they're looking to make it big. Whatever it is, they're going to use coercion. They're going to force them with threats and stalking and violence to repay a debt, whatever it may be. And we certainly see that here in Cassie's story as well as the others. So you've got this isolation that's happening, this coercion, this power. And then the most powerful weapon of all is shame. Because on top of all of this, you've got video of everything, and they can shame them into complicity and being quiet. And silence is ultimately the biggest evil. And I agree. Bringing these people forward, giving witnesses the ability to testify will ultimately be what really brings down the entire playbook. And let's not forget that Fahim Muhammad is also who is helping behind the scenes with all of this as Diddy's director of security. And he worked previously for Michael Jackson.
Wow, that's quite the coincidence, huh? Nima Rahmani is joining us. Nima, now high-profile lawyer and the president of West Coast Trial Lawyers, but important for me, former federal prosecutor. What about this? Nobody likes to rat out a friend, right? Snitches get stitches and all that. But there's one guy, 50 from G Unit rapper, 50 Cents, who has been mocking Diddy for a long time. In fact, when this all went down, he states, it's not did Diddy do it, it's Diddy done it, because they don't come after you until they got a case. That's him, and he's going on and on and on. Why do I care? Because he may have inside information, not just him, but Usher, even Bieber.
And shout out to people like 50 who knew better to stay away from like certain things. I want to know what Fabulous is, because Fabulous was associated with Diddy too. I want to know what Mace really know. I feel like Mace has a deeper story. I really feel like when Mace left the game and he went and became a pastor, I felt like he was probably trying to rebuke the spirits that he encountered. I don't know if it was dick demons. I don't know what it was, but I felt like Mace left. He had to. Who knows what type of psychosis or what type of thing he was going through with Diddy. You didn't find that strange? And now we think about it, he left and became a pastor. Not saying that you can't find God at any time of your life, but he took it drastically. Like, yeah, that's interesting. I feel like Mace has a story. And if you pay attention to him and Cameron's show, I felt like Mace be almost wanting to, he's very careful with how he speaks. Like, he don't want to say the wrong thing. And yeah, I just feel like that's interesting.
Justin Bieber. And I'm not saying any of them are responsible for any wrongdoing. I'm saying that they obviously have been around during some of, let me just say, Combs's antics.
Yeah.
Because when Bieber was asked when he was a teen boy, hey, what happened when you were hanging out with Combs? He said, well, I can't say, but it's every 15-year-old boy's dream. Okay. Usher has publicly stated that he saw some, quote, very curious things when
I don't know why this guy got a smirk on his face. Like, what is funny?
Hanging out with Combs. And you've got Fitty making jokes at Diddy's expense. Explain. They could turn up to be witnesses.
Oh, no question. And, 50 Cent and Diddy's feud is pretty well documented. 50's actually working on a documentary about all this. But Nancy, this may...
Does he think it's funny? I'm not trying to be judgmental or anything, but I could kind of hear something in his voice. Like, why did he's had a smirk on his face this whole interview, and I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is funny.
Will be a Jeff Epstein type situation. We know Cuba Gooding Jr., he's already been named in a civil lawsuit. Prince Harry's name has been mentioned. And Diddy rubs shoulders with rich and powerful people here in Los Angeles and all over the world. So the question is going to be, who was there? What did they see? What did they do? And I wouldn't be surprised if more and more names start being leaked that are people that, are very well known, that either are witnesses or even worse, participated in some of these sex acts.
What if is a symptom that torments individuals with OCD?
What if I upset someone I love?
Yeah, that's what I tell my children. And of course, this is on a small scale. You go to an event, you go to a party, you see one teen drinking, leave. You see one teen with a joint, leave. Because if you stay, then you're part of it. You become part of it, whether you do anything wrong or not. You're there. You are part of it. It's called being a co-defendant. Speaking of Usher, take a listen to what Usher had to say.
We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor
some
Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really.
Come on.
But hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody. Okay, he went on to say that you'd open a door and there would be people in that room, multiple women and men having orgies, a totally different set of sex, specifically always girls around. This was when he was 13. Now, you're hearing Usher speaking to Howard Stern and being very, very candid. Stern has the ability to get people to drop their guard and speak as they would as if they were speaking to a longtime friend in the privacy of their home, as you saw right there. And I'm just wondering if, as this case goes forward to Barry Golden, former U.S. Marshal, if we're going to see more people that are high profile being forced pursuant to subpoena to speak out.
Well, yes, when you read in some of these civil lawsuits, you see that there are allegations that there are other people, other witnesses that were there at the time when these alleged criminal acts occurred. So now the U.S. Attorney's Office is going to have to find those people, interview those people, and then get these people to be willing to testify against Sean P. Diddy Combs. This person.
And who was it? Aaron Hall, who was talking about he was there and how everybody has seen him get it on. I wouldn't be surprised if he did something to Diddy, or if Diddy is like, something is weird about that too.
Who is a mega superstar with millions and millions or billions of dollars. And now they have to be able to stand up and face him in court and say, he did this, this, and this. The U.S. Attorney's Office is going to have to find these people and bring these people in and be willing to testify against a mega superstar.
And people very often, I hate to say, don't come forward out of the goodness of their heart. They have to be forced. In other words, you have to threaten them with unnamed co-conspirator status. It's going to be tough. Exactly who is the government and these alleged victims up against? Take a listen to our Cut One, Rachel Bonilla, Crime Online.
Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, and Brother Love, is credited with the development of several big-name hip-hop artists, including Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige, and Usher. Diddy's own music career is just as impressive, with 11 #1 singles, 14 nominations, and 3 Grammy Awards. In addition to Combs' label, Bad Boy Records, the rap mogul co-founds the network Revolt TV and hosts several businesses under the umbrella company Combs Global. At Forbes' last estimate, Combs had a net worth of roughly $1 billion.
You're seeing Rolling Stone and Billboard. Combs has been on the cover of practically every major music-related magazine. He's a superstar. Will these alleged victims stand up against Combs? $1 billion at the last estimate. We wait as justice unfolds. Goodbye, friend.
All right, so let's go right. So let's go right over here. I want to bring up this Tisa Tales. It's 12:58. I'm going to play a few minutes of this. Let me see. Let me just play a few minutes of this because it is getting a little late. I just want to play this because she interviewed Gene Deal. You know, he was the bodyguard security for Diddy, and he talked about like J-Lo being in the studio. Shout out to Tisa Tells. Check her channel out if you haven't. She does a lot of good coverage on a lot of different topics. So she actually interviewed Gene Deal in regards to like the Diddy, J-Lo, and I think her interview is dropping tomorrow with him. So be on the lookout for that. But check out her channel and subscribe.
Let's get into this. So me and Gene Deal did an interview. I know I'm always promising to drop it, but that's because, you know, I like to be a little flaky with you guys. I feel it puts a little zhuzh in this channel, right? Everybody else can be dependable. Not me. I'm going to keep you guessing. But when I do finally arrive, you're going to love what I'm giving. All right, y'all. So this is me and Gene Deal. He actually was spilling a lot of tea about the dynamics between Kim, Misa, Sarah, and also J-Lo, and actually what happened. We're going to flip around with this interview. I'll drop the full component of that love triangle tomorrow because there's a lot of juicy gossip. But it lets you know a little bit about what was going on with J-Lo and Diddy. And he got a lot to say about the way Diddy actually treated J-Lo, but also the way J-Lo treated him. Hold on, y'all. We're gonna treat this like the director's cut. I'm gonna keep pausing. If you don't like it, I'll post the full clip either later on tonight or tomorrow. And if you don't like that, this is my channel. Go start your own and get your own interview with Gene, because we're doing this the way I want. All right, let's go.
When Diddy started to get money, because I remember he got hit with like $35,000 in child support for Kim's firstborn and Kim's firstborn. So he was starting to get money.
Can I just say, I don't know who this interview is with, but this woman, something about her, that gleam in her eye. I love it. Who is this person?
When he started to get money, did you start to see, because you said that he came up with the same gang, we're going to talk about that. But when he started to get money, did you start to see his circle change?
Oh yeah, no doubt. And then he started saying shit like he told Mace. He said, "You ain't gonna never be famous because you speak to people first."
Hold on, let me
He
pass
said,
this thing.
"Don't listen. You was on that radar. Yeah. Hey, what's happening like that?"
Or Janet, the girl that was managing all the hip hop events, right? You said that she introduced him to Clive Davis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when she introduced him to Clive Davis, is that when things started really taking off and he started he
Just
met
listen to
Kim,
this.
he got in this. I'm just trying to think of.
So we started off, I was trying to say, when did Diddy become a monster? Because Gene said when he knew Diddy at first, Diddy was like a sheltered child from like New Rochelle or some part of New York, kind of like a mama's boy. None of the girls liked him. Wolf was the one that everybody liked, right? And he wasn't like the monster that he has grown to be. But he said there was a change in Diddy when he started getting money, and this segue into what this got to do with J-Lo. Hold on, y'all.
Timeline, not to be in this man's business, but when did all this swinging and all this other mess start happening?
Not to be in this business, sis.
Listen, I have to say it. Allegedly.
we all in the business. When he started getting that money from Clyde Davis, because he was getting street money. And he had gotten street money up until those guys went to jail. And that was the crew from Butt Naked. So I think when he start getting those checks from Clyde Davis, and people start treating him like he was rich, getting all the free shit, because he was getting a lot of, people who get rich. When you rich, you get a whole lot of free shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. Discounts, like these people go out and buy these Fendi bags and try to be like these stars, but they giving them 40 and 60% discounts when they come in the store. You know what I mean? So he start getting that type of attention.
I used to always hear about discounts because Foxy Brown, because I'm a long fan, so I used to listen to her interviews and stuff, and she'd be like, "I always get a discount." Could you imagine? I don't know if they still do that for celebrities now. You think they still do that? If you have any insight on that, let me know. But I feel like with inflation and everything, I don't feel like they probably give any deals like that to people, but they may, because probably to celebrities because it benefits them by the visibility of the brand, but. Shit, we got to pay full price. They ain't giving us no deal. They can afford to pay for that.
We have carte blanche, and I would see him acting fool on television, but that ain't the Puffy I knew. You know what I'm saying? The grief stuff.
So when did the Puffy start disappearing?
I start seeing a difference. I think that when he got with J-Lo.
What started changing? What did you notice?
Okay, so now we're in the J-Lo years when he got with J-Lo and he started changing really quick. Let me not change and show some love to my audience. Woo! Angela, let's see. Katrina Mitchell, thank you so much for the super chat. Angela Hardrick, thank you so much for the super chat. Crystal Roberts, thank you so much for the super chat. Ashley Ray TV said Jaguar writes in the chat. Woo! Shout out. Sabbath Rest said Dag is in
a little bit. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Fargo has enabled small.
All right. So that's a longer ad. Give me a second. I had YouTube Premium, but when they boosted it up from like, what was it, $15 to $20, I unsubscribed from it. Yeah, I'm not paying $20 a month for YouTube Premium. Nope.
I'm out the jag. All right, let's keep going.
Like,
you know what's so weird though? I felt like when I had YouTube Premium, I felt like I know this could probably be in my mind, but I felt like when I had a YouTube Premium account, they pushed my videos more. For some reason, it could just be a me thing though, but I don't know.
Like, didn't give a F about, what nobody thought, nobody felt after Big died. And I think that, when he didn't care, it's when your girl is upstairs and you getting the fellatio while your girl is upstairs, it's something about you, there's something that's wrong with you that you wouldn't even try some shit like that. You understand?
Yeah.
So people was bringing him things and just like.
So if you guys missed it, we had talked about this early in the interview. I'll put the full clip up tomorrow because this is like, just a portion of it. Puffy, as much as people say that Puffy was laying hands on J-Lo and all this stuff, I'll tell you one thing he was doing. It seemed like, according to Gene Deal, they had a very mentally abusive relationship. Only it was with Puffy doing it to J-Lo. Again, J-Lo will be upstairs getting dressed to go out, and he was having girls giving him blankety blanks, the goose gosh, downstairs, all to mess with her mind. And because, I don't know, Puffy just sound off in this, but it gets worse. Hold on.
With the girl Corinne Steffen, Superhead, somebody would bring him her. Yo, she crazy. The head is crazy. Okay. What is it going to cost you? You going to take care of it? Now, he's dealing with her. It's so many women that were bad, that was fine, that I would see come out the room sometimes. I was like,
wait to see.
Mom, for real?
Really?
And they leave like, damn, Mom. And they'll be laughing again because that was that type of atmosphere.
Wait till you hear who she say too.
You understand?
So he says.
So while he was with J-Lo, what other famous people do you remember seeing coming out that room?
Tis.
Hypothetically, let's play make-believe. In a world of that you would never believe, who could we possibly, somebody that would just never, who could we never believe? Again, this is not hypothetical. I know you don't know, but if you had to guess, let's just so like Diddy, Hillary Clinton.
Terrell. Hypothetically speaking, I would never say Sally Richardson or Diamond. Y'all know her real name. I would never say Diamond.
From the Players Club. Hypothetically speaking, who else we talk? So she just revealed that Diddy, while he was with J-Lo, was also smashing, this is alleged, right? Sally Richardson, y'all remember her. I think she was in that movie Posey or whatever. And also Diamond from the Players Club, who is Lisa Ray. Sally Richardson, whatever happened to Sally Richardson? And also Lisa Ray. Does Lisa Ray want to speak on this? But I guess not, because no shade to Lisa Ray. She's super, super talented. But y'all remember when she went through that stuff with her husband? And that like broke her heart. But remember when she started dating Reverend Al Sharpton after he lost some weight and thought he looked so.
Now, I forgot about this. I know, what was that country that Lisa Ray was dating that guy? Was he from, it wasn't Haiti. It wasn't the Bahamas. Was it Turks and Caicos? Yeah, it was Turks and Caicos. She started dating Al Sharpton. I must have missed that. Let me Google that while she talking.
So good. Thought he looked like Denzel, but he just looked like a 80-year-old man bobblehead, right? Ugh. Remember when him and Bill Clinton both looked like they had taken some Ozempic? I'm not saying they did, right? But they had looked, and she started dating him, and we were like, why are you a Reverend Al Sharpton? And then the gag was Reverend Al Sharpton played her. It's bad enough you dated skinny bobblehead Reverend Al Sharpton. This when he was filmed.
She dated Al Sharpton back in 2009. Although they never confirmed that they were in fact a couple, the pair attended several events together in 2009, and the speculation of why they would be together began. Whether it was purely business or not, it was amusing to see Sharpton hold on to Lisa Ray. That's weird.
Killing himself because he had lost all that weight. But then you let that man play you. I was like, Jesus wept. But let's get back into this. Good about.
Jeez, that ain't enough.
No, hypothetically speaking, because here's the thing that blew my mind. The fact that J-Lo will be upstairs and maybe, hypothetically speaking, something downstairs would be happening. You know, like.
Well, that's not hypothetically speaking. That was happening.
Okay. But did he go out of his way to hide that from J-Lo? Or what J-Lo?
Yeah, I think he did. I think he did.
So
he went out. A lot of, you know, him and old boy had these little skinny white girls downtown on 4th and 5th Avenue in their apartment buildings down there. And let's just say he's affiliated with basketball and football at the same time. They had their little skinny British white girls down there. And when they would meet up with each other, they would say, yo, how your little white girl doing? You're like, how your little white girl doing?
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So in addition to chopping down, allegedly, Sally Richardson, Lisa Ray, but there were a lot, put it like this. I feel like a lot of actresses, Black, white, Puerto Rican, Haitian, Asian, that's one thing about Puffy. He did not discriminate, right?
Male, female.
They all got their own
recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that
experiences with Diddy. Now, again, he's leading up until what actually happened between him and J-Lo ready to throw hands in the studio, right? It's all leading up to this. We get into there in a second. I'll post it uninterrupted tomorrow, but right now you on my channel, baby. We having the director's cut, okay? Apocalypse Now. In this scene, Mr. Dill is citing how A1 Superhead was pleasing A1 Sean Combs. His girlfriend was unaware. But I felt like the scene really encompassed. That's my director's cut. And anyway, on top of that, Diddy also was with a prominent, let's see if y'all can pick out this blind item, a prominent sports player who also happened to be into skinny Caucasian women. And Diddy also had a skinny Caucasian woman he was with. Again, when I say he was literally he wasn't even as famous as he is now or as rich as he had. So he was literally doing J-Lo dirty. But listen to what Gene got to say, okay? It gets deeper. What's going on? He was trying to hide it from J-Lo. But like you said, why are you even doing this and being so reckless?
When I tried to tell him, the guy who's with them all the time, Paul, I say, yo, Paul, do you know those private eyes are following us? You understand? He said, gee, what are you talking about? I said, them private eyes, bro. I work for a private eye company. He lead investigations.
That's right there where you could tell that Puffy was stupid. He's telling you, he told you that back then. I'm telling you, I don't care. I don't care even if you got YouTube and you making a certain amount of money and you doing well. You got to move a certain type of way. Like, this was complete stupidity. For you to have a net worth of that much and be doing this much damage, you got a damn history of pet cemeteries of just people who you just did wrong and just, you know what I'm saying, who you did wrong. So it's like, how do you live life like that and just be happy? And what's really going to be sad is that through this raid, if it comes out that his son was like triangulated in all of this, it's going to be bad. It's really going to, it already shows his character, but it's just going to show how more fucked up that Diddy is.
So I know some of the guys, I know some of the people, I know how they get down, how they work, whatever. You know, I'm an investigator myself. So I say, yo, dog, Puff got private eyes. They got private eyes following them. So I thought that it was Miss Lopez or it was, what's his guy name? Benny Medina, who hated Puff. They was trying to get J-Lo away from him.
Why?
So I thought he hired people to follow Puff to get dirt on him about so they can give to Jennifer.
Were you right? Was it?
Well, I mean, I was right.
I guess you were right. He didn't make it too hard, right? The first day, the guy was like, let me not turn in my reports for another week, so at least I can get paid. The day they found evidence, like he woke up and they were like, wow, okay. So so pause real quick, just for you guys just joining us. Gene Dill has alleged that while Diddy was wilding out on J-Lo, they started being followed by private eyes. Gene Dill knew it. This is director's cut, y'all. I'll do the unedited one tomorrow. Gene Dill knew that they were being followed because Gene Dill used to work for a private eye. Okay, now who hired it? He believes it was either J-Lo or Benny Medina, but you know they are one and the same. And they said Diddy didn't slow down. He did not care. Really quick, I also want to say Gene Dill does have a book out that is really, really good. I know you've seen him on my channel. I have that. I know y'all seen the Art of Dialogue and the clips, but his book has even more juice. It is Gene Dill, My World of Bodyguarding a Hip Hop Star, The Last Big Night. It got all the tea in it. It is available on Amazon. On top of that, he is coming out with a new book. So make sure we support our big Unc Gene, okay? But let's keep going. So do you think that it was the charges that came up from that shooting in the nightclub that truly was the final nail in the coffin? Or do you think there was all that stuff in the background going down between Jennifer and Puff that she was just like, I'm tapping out?
Well, first of all, I know for a fact that her mother hated him. And when somebody as big as her and she loves her mother like she do, and they got a disdain taste in their mouth for your man, shit ain't gonna work.
Why do you think she hated Diddy? If you know, you know.
I think that's a big part of it.
So pause. That part got cut out, but let me give you the director's cut. When I said, why you think she hated Diddy? Okay. We both were under the situation that, how do I say this while being respectful? Well, I'll just say it.
What she's about to say is what we all know too. We all know it. Like, I feel like you could just say it because I already knew that's what it was. And we all felt this way back then too.
There is usually Latinos and Black people get along really, really well, shared experiences. However, from the older generation that perhaps J-Lo's mom belonged to, and perhaps Benny Medina, they didn't like the Puerto Rican princess being with a Black king, if you know what I mean.
That's so true. But let me tell you this. I said this before. I had a friend, Jessica. She was from Harlem, right? She was Puerto Rican. And she would always tell me, like, LaRon, like, you know, she was like, Black guys always try to hit them. And she was like, not being funny, but I love my Puerto Rican men. And the thing about me is I'm attracted to my own race. I'm only attracted to Black, to be honest with you. But I feel like that's because I was raised with love. I know who I am. And my mother kind of like, not saying that she forced me, but that's just what it was. Like between my mother and my father, it's like just to be proud. So I don't have no issues with that per se, unless you have some sort of racist approach or being prejudiced or, you know, like just things like that. But I don't really have an issue with that. Because if she's Puerto Rican, maybe she just wants it to continue that way. So, I mean, if I feel like if as Black people, if we feel that way and we want our kids to follow those same steps, like as long as you're not mistreating a person, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, you know, personally.
This would also explain the way J-Lo's mom was always encouraging her. And this is just my opinion and speculation right now from the outside looking in. All right. So do your own research. It was odd to me that at this time, nobody had solid proof that Diddy was.
This is why I stopped shopping on Amazon and you.
Shut up.
J-Lo's mom hated Diddy. But then when J-Lo got with Ben Affleck that comes from this Boston family, the mom was like a Harvard professor, all this other stuff. J-Lo's mom has always pushed J-Lo to be with Ben Affleck, even though he had addiction problems. He was effing the nanny. Ben Affleck was a mess. Now, maybe he's cleaned himself up. I doubt it. But maybe he is. But it's funny how you were encouraging him. And I really honestly do think, and even the way J-Lo always seemed to really want to get in with white Hollywood, I don't know. We thought it had something to do with Diddy being Black. All right.
Right.
I said it. But we about to get back
We all felt like that J-Lo used Diddy back then too for relevancy. So that is a real thing.
into this. Let me just say this. Michael Corian said, Diamond Lady's taking a bubble bath with candles and glass of wine and watch Tupac, Unconditional Love, Lady in Red. Thank you for the super chat. I don't know. Okay.
I ain't know what he meant either.
Long Gone, thank you so much for the generous super chat. You said best team on YouTube, Tisa and Gene Dill. Love the facts you bring in. Thank you so much. I do want to say one thing really quick before we get back into the interview. Diddy has said that he is innocent. He said he has been set up by the FBI. These government raids have no value. He says they only happen because of the people accusing him. I said, baby, if it's that easy for
All right,
so
let's move
long.
on.
And Mel Bell
Mother and everything, give up mother. She wouldn't
to this. All right. So now we just left when Gene Deal was like, it seemed like Benny Medina and J-Lo's mama couldn't stand Diddy. We both think it's because he was black. And they ain't like the fact that they put her up. But, you know, it's our opinion. It's our opinion, people. Let's go.
I think that's a big part of it. She may not never admit it, but all the conversations they had, all the things he was trying to borrow mother and everything, give up mother, she wouldn't accept not one gift.
Damn.
Because Diddy, to your knowledge, did him and J-Lo ever get handsy or have any of the issues that Kim have?
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
He treated her like
No.
he was cheating, but it never got handsy or anything like that.
No. It never got handsy. I got a funny part in my second book about one night that she was about to go on some girls, and she just got so frustrated. She just said, "Yo, Jane," and I wanted to help her, but I couldn't. I couldn't at the time. But she wasn't. It wasn't because she was putting his hands on her, nothing like that. But he was just trying to. She said they were trying to make her look like Susie Saucershead.
Okay, so explain that. I don't understand this story.
We were. J-Lo wanted him to come in. Ms. Lopez wanted him to go to this event with her. He told her all kind of lies, like he had to do this, he had to do it, which was a bunch of bullshit. He didn't want to go to the event. So she came back. She had this lavender, I think purplish lavender dress on, had this big ass 3-carat diamond ring. Could be 9 carats or whatever like that. She was gorgeous. And I was like, yo, this nigga would go to her with her. I'm like, yo. So she came back to the studio and he had all these girls up in the studio. And then this chick said, I think she overheard, Ms. Lopez overheard the girl say, oh, she ain't all that. They was like scallywags, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, compared to Jen. So then Gene was like, yo, Bob was like, yo, Gene, take Jennifer home, man, and bring her back to the studio. You know, so I go home. That's when she told me the story about, yo, Gene, I take care of everybody who take care of me. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, Ms. Lopez, I'm not at liberty to say anything about Mr. Cohn's business, but I will tell you that when we came back from doing what we was doing, those girls was already in the studio. But then she was like, yo, Gene.
I know she felt like smacking you. Those girls are already there.
Because she did with that. But Gene, you and I both know, ain't nobody in that studio unless Puff give permission from them to be up in there.
Yeah.
Ms. Lopez, I don't know what to say. I didn't hear him make any situations like that. And you have to talk to him that when you get back to the office with him. She went upstairs. She jumped out the car, and I'm supposed to go upstairs with her. She just jumped out the car and jetted on me. She got her ponytail in. She put the grease on her ears, came back in the jeans and the sneakers. And Ms. Lopez had turned into Jenny from the block.
I guess she was about it.
Huh?
I guess she was about it. So then what happened?
That paycheck
she
just
came back to
hit.
the studio.
Her rings on.
Yeah. She came back to the studio, and don't you know, Buffett got them girls out of there and gave her a song that was supposed to be from Faith.
Thank you.
What song was it?
I forgot. The song was supposed to be from Faith or Sherry Dennison. It was from Faith for Sherry Dennison. Punk gave it to her
So listen, check out this video. It's already 124 and my paycheck just hit. So I'm about to go figure out, you know, I like that Navy Federal tells me about my withdrawals and my deposits. So cool. I just got paid. That's what's up. So listen, so she was running in the streets. I saw a picture of J-Lo and Aaliyah laying down with Diddy and other men. I think she was in the FOs or something. What? Wow. So listen, y'all, it's 1:25 on the Gulf Coast, which is Central Standard Time in Texas. And I gotta get up out of here because tomorrow's a short day because we get out of work early. Shout out to everybody who subscribed. I just gained like 20 subscribers. So shout out to all of y'all. Let me know what you think in the comments about like Nancy Grace, about her commentary on it. She was a little drastic. I just wanted to share that with y'all because I had watched some of it earlier, but I only watched like 10 minutes of it, but I wanted to come and like watch the rest. But then also Tisa with her, she did like commentary on the Young Miami situation, and then she also like showed the tidbits of her interview with Gene that's going to drop tomorrow. So make sure that you subscribe to her channel and check that out as well. So yeah, I'm about to get up out of here because it's getting late, and I know it's about to take me like an hour to go to sleep. It's gonna be 2:25, 3:25, 4:25, 5:25, 6. I want to be. See, we get off work at 12 o'clock tomorrow, so I really would like to get there at 7 o'clock so I can have 5 hours because I do got some cases I do want to close. Like we got 5 hours, and I just want to make sure my dashboard is clear before I go on Easter break. So we get off at 12 tomorrow, then we off on Friday. So we got what, Thursday, Friday. I'm about to come home tomorrow and take the best nap. No, I have something to do tomorrow when I get off work. So yeah. S, was you the one who just sent me the Cash App? Thank you if you did send the Cash App. And then Lisa also sent me a Cash App as well. So shout out to you. Oh, yep, that was you. Thank you, S. Thanks for your support as well. So let's see. Mamas be knowing. Vinny, I think he's an executive. I think he used to be over at what label was he on? Vinny Medina. I can't even think. But yeah, the whole thing I want to say about this though is Puffy played himself. It's like, how do you have that much access to money and riches and just be moving sloppy like that? I'm telling you, when you get access, you just don't move like that. You don't give them a reason to be attached to your name in a negative way, because I'm telling you, it's going to come back to bite. It always will. I knew that, like I said, I can't stress it enough. I knew the decisions of yesterday will follow me today. I knew that anything that I did then would show up now. I knew that it would. So just be careful as you live your life and think about how what your decisions you make today will impact you tomorrow. It will come back. And this is the day of exposing. People want to expose, especially if you have a potent opinion and you saying stuff like people want to find dirt on you. They want to expose you. Like, oh, word, you did this, you did that. They want to expose you. You said Jay-Z is next. A lot of people say that, but I honestly don't. I think that Jay-Z is smarter than that. Maybe it's just because I am a fan of Jay-Z. I don't know. But if you do dirt, you get dirt, So I'm not saying that I'm a fan to the point where he can't get called out. Thank you, Blessley. But I kind of feel like Jay-Z is not as reckless as Diddy. I would hope that he's not, because I don't wish bad on people, but I would hope that Jay-Z is smarter than Diddy. Benny Boom is a producer. Benny Medina is the music exec, right? Jay-Z got bodies. What you mean? Like, what do you mean when you say Jay-Z got bodies? Bodies like women he was with, or do you mean like bodies like? Oh, she's on that. You're on the ad. Give me a second. So listen, I'm about to get up out of here. Check out Tisa Tells. Check out Tisa Tells channel if you want to check out the remaining. She did like a editor's cut, director's cut of that. So she'll be dropping the full video tomorrow. Oh, you're saying he unalive people? Oh, Kathy White. Yeah, I heard about that too. Yeah, that was unfortunate. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Jay-Z. Whatever you do in the dark will come to the light, But listen, I'm about to get up out of here. It's 1:30. This is your boy LaRon, Potent Pondering. Subscribe to the channel. Support the channel by thumbs upping the video. Also, when you subscribe, hit the bell notification, hit all notifications so you know each and every time that I go live. And be blessed. I'm up out of here. Peace.